U.S. government to conceal UFO discovery from public U.S. agent. Government has found extraterrestrial material. 7.6. 2023-14-12 a U.S. agent is said to have lost his job for allegedly passing on highly explosive information. It's about the discovery of extraterrestrial flying objects. A high-ranking U.S. scientist is causing a stir with serious accusations against the U.S. government. It is about an object that was allegedly not made by human beings. It is apparently supposed to be UFOs. According to the U.S. broadcaster NewsNation, Air Force veteran David Charles Grush is now claiming that the U.S. government is deliberately withholding this artifact. Grush worked for many years for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the central U.S. authority for military intelligence and also commercial cartographic analyses and reconnaissance. Among other things, he led a research group dedicated to the investigation of unexplained anomalous phenomena, UAP. In this function, he also gained access to explosive material, Grush told NewsNation. According to the secret agent, intact and partially intact extraterrestrial flying objects were found. These were technical vehicles that were not man-made. Call it a spaceship if you like. Certainly complex vehicles of non-human origin that had either landed or crashed, the former U.S. Air Force employee said. Scientists in the USA have been studying the phenomenon of unidentified flying objects for a long time. Sightings of alleged UFOs are reported time and again, also by the public. In recent years, the government has therefore launched research programs and even set up a task force to investigate the veracity of such reports. The space organization NASA is also working on corresponding investigations. According to NASA, there is no credible evidence of extraterrestrial activity on Earth. Most UFO sightings can be attributed to natural phenomena or objects made by human beings. Grush doubts this. He claims that the U.S. government has been in possession of corresponding material from extraterrestrials for decades. Moreover, the secret research programs would not also pass on everything they find to the U.S. Congressional Task Force. The 36-year-old has therefore lodged a complaint with the government. He considers himself deprived of his rights as a whistleblower, that is to say, as a valuable informant. In April, Grush left his job at the intelligence agency after 14 years of service. The former agent sees his dismissal as an act of revenge because he handed over secret documents to Congress. Grush's statements have not yet been independently verified. NASA experts have been tracking down mysterious flying objects for years. While there are reasonable explanations for most sightings, they are still in the dark about others. For this reason, they are now calling for a more efficient approach. At a first public meeting, a group of experts from the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, spoke out in favor of more and better data on observations of unidentified flying objects. The investigation of unidentified anomalous phenomena UAP is extremely important. For safety reasons, among others, said NASA manager Dan Evans at the press conference after a meeting lasting around 4 hours on Wednesday. Table of Contents UFO is an abbreviation for Unidentified Flying Object. While the term is still very popular to describe mysterious flying objects, researchers actually only talk about UAPs, short for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena. In contrast to UFOs, this term includes not only flying objects, but also objects in water or initially unexplained radiation, for example. The director of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, Sean Kirkpatrick, started a press conference with an overview of the sightings of UFOs and UAPs reported to date. It shows where in the world most UAPs have been sighted and reported between 1996 and 2023. 5 major hotspots are shown. 1. The west coast of the USA. 2. The east coast of the USA. 3. The coast off the Ivory Coast in Ghana. 4. A strip from the Persian Gulf to Iraq and Syria 5. The majority of these were at an altitude of between 5,000 and 30,000 feet. There were hardly any sightings between 40,000 and 100,000 feet. The arrow also has data on space, but this is not shown in the graphic. Parts of the east coast of China, South Korea, North Korea, and the south of Japan. The hotspots of UAP sightings between 1996 and 2023. Image. Screenshot NASA video. It also shows the altitudes at which most objects were sighted in the sky. The majority were at an altitude of between 5,000 and 30,000 feet. There were hardly any sightings between 40,000 and 100,000 feet. The arrow also has data on space, but this is not shown in the graph. At 47%, most human beings sighted objects in the form of orbs, followed by 19% of ambiguous sensory contacts. Lights were seen the third most often at 16%. It is said that between 50 and 100 reports are reported per month. Overall, however, only between 2 and 5% of all sightings in their database are actually anomalous in nature. Sensors and cameras from military aircraft have tried to pick up signals from UFOs, but have so far failed. The reason: the distance of the objects was much greater than initially assumed. So far, there is also no evidence that UAPs are connected to extraterrestrial life. Experts selected by NASA are now to present a study on how to proceed with the investigation of UAPs. According to NASA, the study has been agreed with the U.S. government, but is working independently of the relevant work of the U.S. Department of Defense, together with intelligence agencies. In recent years, the Pentagon had submitted reports stating that there were no explanations for dozens of celestial phenomena from the past 2 decades, but also no evidence of secret technology from other countries or extraterrestrial life. The Pentagon had also criticized the lack of data. For the first time in decades, there had also been a hearing in Congress.